Welcome to Captain Samuel's Smokin' Yo Cigarettes. Normally, when I do reviews, I sit down, I come up with notes so my review is coherent and not all over the place. But I feel to do that would be not in the spirit of today's book, Damnation Alley by Roger Zelazny. Whoa! Whoa! What a book! First of all, this book saves me some time. Normally I do exhaustive research about the author by a quick visit to the Wikipedia page, but this book comes with the author bio baked right in. It says, Mr. Zelazny was born in London in 1340 and served King Edward on secret missions in Flanders in 1376-7. He also lived under the name of Cyril Tourner for 20 years. He is now married and lives in Baltimore. And I'm not making that up. That's what it says. Harlan Ellison on Roger Zelazny. It's right there, right there, right there. And then you've got our boy smoking a pipe. What is this book about? This book is about a former motorcycle gang leader named Hal Tanner who has to travel across post-apocalyptic America. And he's so evil that he makes my girlfriend shout ow in the next room while cooking breakfast. So, Hal Tanner has been accused of all these crimes and he'll be pardoned if he drives from LA to Boston with a shipment of medicine to save the people of Boston from this plague. So the book alternates between Hal Tanner and other members of his team driving across the country to try to get to Boston, and then scenes of random different characters that you only meet once experiencing the plague in Boston. This book was ridiculous, and yet I loved it. The adventures that Hal Tanner gets up to are great. Giant bats, giant gila lizards, giant snakes, other motorcycle gangs, insane scientists living homeless in shacks, nice people, which are really incongruous to all the dangers and antisocial characters in the book. This book is hilarious. The dialogue is funny. There's some laugh-out-loud zingers, especially when Hal Tanner, this evil, crass motorcycle gang member, meets the president of Salt Lake City. That was a great scene. It's full of weird, experimental, groovy literature styles where you're just kind of reading the book and all of a sudden you've got really terse back and forth character dialogue. You've got these paragraphs that last pages and pages to show that the character or the action is really driven and tense, and it's just one thing after another, and all they say is like these long paragraphs to try to show you that things are really frantic and he's really worried. And then there'll be times where every word is like not shown because it's a bell tolling for the dead. Yeah, man, it's a wild book. It's a wild book. And what I really thought was wild was I'm always giving Grammaticus Books and other booktubers shitpost comments whenever they have content about Zelazny, about how all the characters smoke. And wow, do the characters in this book smoke. Like almost every page, someone is lighting a cigarette, and as Hal Tanner gets closer to his goal and becomes more stressed, the dude is just stuffing cigarettes in his mouth left and right, and it was just really over the top and ridiculous. Yeah, man. So I think this book gets 3 stars, but I'm actually going to bump it up to 4 because it's got a certain level of, this book is so bad, it's good quality to it. And also, my boy Science Fiction Retroactivist was talking with me about Zelazny books the other day on one of his videos, and he said that there's actually a movie that they made based on this book. And I watched little snippets of it. I usually don't watch a lot of movies except if I'm sick, so maybe if I get a cold or the flu sometime, hopefully over the winter, I'll put that on and see what it's all about. But I'll link that below if you want to watch the Damnation Alley movie. Also, because this book is a bit all over the place and very experimental, here is my dog for no reason. Rock hard, ride free. Wolf. I just realized I forgot to talk about the car. Okay, so Hal Tanner actually doesn't ride across post-apocalyptic United States on a motorcycle. He does it in this armored car. So it's got like 8 gigantic tires, and it's got flamethrowers that can shoot in every direction, and it's got 50 cal machine guns that can shoot in every direction, and it's got rocket launchers that can shoot in every direction, and it's got grenade launchers that can shoot in every direction, and it's got these bladed wings that can rotate all the way around the vehicle, so if like monsters or enemy humans get too close, he can like slice them in half with the wings. And the vehicle actually doesn't have like any windows on it. It's got all of these cameras, and so he sees what's going on around him through these screens. Yeah, and also I just want to say that this cover doesn't really do the novel justice. It's just like a bunch of vague pink color with this spacesuit looking dude on the front that doesn't really represent any of the characters accurately. They could have had the car on the cover, man. So, yeah, we gotta have that cool car on. We gotta have the cool car on the cover, because that would make this book like so much groovier. Oh, and you know what else would be even groovier? If like the car was made out of cigarettes. And I also want to say that the only thing this book would have been like 5 stars if instead of delivering medicine to Boston, he'd done like a cigarette run. So if he delivered like cartons of cigarettes to Boston, would have made the book 5 stars. But 4 stars is still pretty good. See ya. Hey, Ma.
Yes?
Thanks for the kimchi and eggs for breakfast. It was really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you know what the weather's supposed to be today? Because I was going to do some yard work.
I think it's supposed to be pretty good for most of the day.
I just realized I forgot to talk about the weather. So the weather in post-apocalyptic USA is apocalyptic, right? So you've got these black bands of debris that constantly go across the sky because you've got like old cars and washing machines and chunks of buildings that are constantly flying around in the sky through these cyclonic winds. And every once in a while, they'll fall down. And so Hal Tanner's driving along, and he's got like literal boulders and rocks like landing on top of him. So the constant destructive weather was a huge part of this book. I forgot to mention that. And also, like, you can't drive up on any hilltops, because if you go above a certain point, then you'll just get ripped off the top of the hill by the wind. And also, that's why they can't just like fly the cigarettes, I mean the medicine, to Boston, because no one can fly anymore. Yeah. Oh, other random thought. He actually talks about how he wants to run the machine that runs the world, which I know was like a big thing in Jack of Shadows, but he just like mentions it and they like never come back to it. This book just like has a lot of themes that like get raised and then just like dropped. It's like a bunch of loose threads, man. It's like a frayed blanket is like what this book is. But it was so groovy and so apocalyptic, and driving the armored cars and then explosions and the bats and the gila monsters and the motorcycle guys, and oh yeah, dude, 4 stars!